Hey, what's up guys? We are here for the NPL Finals. It is finally here, the very last match of the NPL Season 2. And we are matching up against Adam, coach of the Kansas City Kakunas. We've already played him one time this year, and he actually won. It was one of my 3 losses this year. We finished 9-3 in the regular season, and he finished 8-4. But yeah, he actually won on a 50-50. It came down to my life orb, Pangoro, with Gunk Shot, and all he had left was a Clefable and Karen Black. And if he stayed in with the Clef, or I had 1 hit left, I only had one, I had like 8% HP left, so I only had 1 hit left in me. Went for the Drain Punch, predicting him to switch out into the Kyurem, which is a play he could have made because I had Pokemon in the back too. And he actually just stayed in and then killed me with Moonblast, and I couldn't touch his Unaware Clef. So, oh, hang on a second, let me reconnect, I don't know what happened. Okay, so we're back on Showdown. Anyway, let me get the team builder back up versus him. Yeah, okay. So, looking at his team, I will tell you his team real quick. He has Mega Blastoise, Kieran Black, Clefable, Galvantua, Diggersby, Emboar, Gourgeist, Drapion, Bronzong, Regirock, and Tornadus Incarnate. So, he's got a very scary team. His Kieran Black was actually offensive MVP for this year, and his Clefable was technically 7th Mon of the year, excuse me. Which means it came to 6 or less matches, and just was a huge threat. I just hate Clefable so much, the pink blob. Some people think that's Chansey, but I think it's Clefable too. So anyway, I really have to watch out for those two. Mega Blastoise is a bit annoying because of the fact that Mega Launcher is a thing, and it's just a really bulky spinner, and I can't really do too much about it. Also, Sticky Webs paired with Kieran Black and Diggersby and Emboar. There's a really hard wall breaking core that he has right there, and paired with Sticky Web is just really hard to, I guess, take advantage of the momentum, because the Galvantua can just Volt Switch on out into a huge threat, and I have no answers for Diggersby whatsoever, so that's gonna be pretty fun. I didn't want to I didn't want to bring something like Air Balloon Capagus to deal with it. I just didn't want to do that. I just lose too much momentum, and it gives Clefable a free switch, and so I'm really scared of the Kieran Black, the Clefable, and essentially the Diggersby. So I really have to watch out for all 3 of those, and then the rest of his team is pretty threatening too. I'm not really too worried about things like Gourgeist, Drapion, Regirock. That's about it. Everything else is pretty scary. Drapion could be. I'm not really. I guess I'm not really too scared for it. Maybe a bulkier set with like Taunt and T-Spice could be doing some damage, I guess, but that's about it. And then Tornadus Eye is kind of just on my watch list, I guess, because of the fact that it gets Defiant, and my only form of hazard removal is a Specs Defog, so I gotta be careful with that. Emboar, I guess, is a bit concerning because of the fact that I don't really have too many answers for that thing either, and it gets Sucker Punch for my Latios, so I gotta watch out for that. But yeah, I will hop right into my team building process for the NPL Season 2 Finals. So we have yet another Yachiberry Thundurus here for you guys. Blitzkrieg with the Prankster ability, Thunderbolt, U-Turn, Taunt, and Thunderwave with 36 HP, 220 special attack, and max speed. The max speed allows me to speed tie with the Tornadus Incarnate. It also allows me to outspeed the Galvantua and everything on his team, which is very, very nice. So, this is pretty much my answer to a lot of things, like Mega Blastoise. I can pretty much come in on that thing. If he wants to click Ice Beam, it's literally doing about half with this spread I have, so that's pretty cool. I can come in twice on rocks usually and still take an Ice Beam. That is just, and also very nice for Kieran Black because I will live an Ice Beam from that thing too, no matter what set it is, unless he crits Specs Modest maybe, I don't know. But I will usually T-Wave the Kieran Black because I can pretty much beat that thing pretty easily if it is T-Waved and the speed going down. So T-Wave is just nice in general for his team. The only thing that he can absorb a T-Wave with is Galvantua and Diggersby. So I can just spread Thunder Waves across his entire team pretty nicely, and it's just going to help my team out because I'm a bit slower than his team. At least my fighting checks are. So yeah, that's about it for the T-Wave. Taunt is extremely useful for the Galvantua because, and I guess the Clefable too. I can't let Clefable set up Calm Minds on me or else I'll just straight up lose. So Taunt is really nice for that. T-Wave is nice for that as well. I can cripple it a little bit. It's also decent for Gourgeist if he decides to bring it, because the thing usually wants the Leech Seed or Will-O-Wisp or things like that, even Synthesis. And he can't really touch me with the Seed Bomb, even though I can't touch it really. But it's just nice to cripple it. Also Bronzong, I forgot about Bronzong, because that thing usually just generally runs like Gyro Balls and Headbutt, Earthquake, nothing, maybe even an Explosion sometimes, but if I can taunt it and not allow it to set up a Toxic or some Stealth Rocks on me, that'd be fantastic. But that's about it, honestly, for taunt. I don't think he would run like a sub Home Claws, Kieran Black. I don't think he would run any non-attacking moves on Blastoise. Usually it's 4 or 3 attacks with Rapid Spin. So yeah. And then U-turn is for the Diggersby, and I can U-turn on out on everything. So I don't want him to take advantage of the fact that I could have ran Volt Switch instead, but I wanted to run U-turn just to make sure I get off that that, I guess, momentum hit, if you want to call it. I don't feel the need to run Volt Switch if he wants to bring out his Diggersby, because if he did bring out his Diggersby on me, I would have absolutely nothing for it. I can't touch it with Thunderbolt. Definitely Taunt is not really going to help me too much. I don't think it would set up an SD straight in Thunderous's face, because they usually carry stuff like Focus Blast, but I just wanted to bring U-turn just to make sure I got that that momentum off. So the next Pokemon we're bringing is Eon, our Latios. Choice Specs for the, I think, maybe second time this year. I don't know if I brought Choice Specs earlier. But yeah, Draco Meteor, Psychic, Shadow Ball, and Defog. The reason I'm running Defog is because I didn't want to bring Blastoise. It just doesn't match up well versus his team at all. Gets bodied by nearly half of his team members. So I really didn't want to bring that set, or at least bring that Pokemon. So I'm bringing Defog on my Latios, even though I am Choice Specs. I'm not afraid to lock myself into Defog. I can switch out on the following turn. Maybe he wants to switch or like trick my item. I don't know. I'm not really too scared about it. Choice Specs allows me to 2-hit KO the Bronzong with the Shadow Ball, and which is very, very important, even if he's max Speed F. Unless he's Assault Vest, I would highly not recommend Assault Vest Bronzong, but maybe he is. Anyway, I 2-hit KO every single Bronzong set except AV. Drapion dies to 2 Dracos. Even if it is Assault Vest, it'll die to 1 if it's not. And pretty much he has nothing that really wants to take a Draco Meteor except the Clefable and the Bronzong. So Clefable dies to 2 Psychics unless it's AV, which I highly doubt it'll be too. And yeah, like I said, the Bronzong dies to 2 Shadow Balls. So this thing is just a hard wall breaker. I do naturally outspeed the Galvantula and Kieran Black, which is fantastic. The only thing I don't outspeed on his team is the Tornadus Incarnate. And I'm not really too sure he's going to bring it, and plus it's just, I don't think it matches up well versus my team. That's why you can see I have 2 fighting types coming out here, so I'm not really too concerned about it, but this thing's just nice, a wall breaker to have, especially versus Gourgeist. I actually don't have too much for Gourgeist that hits it, I guess, relatively well. Like, say he's Colbur Berry, Gourgeist, I don't really have too much for it, so a Draco Meteor or Psychic will surely do a ton. Even Shadow Ball, I forgot about Shadow Ball being super effective, but anything will hit that thing and 2-hit KO it no matter what set it is, or even OHKO it. So that's a Latios set. Next set is Designer, our Pangoro. If you guys don't remember, Pangoro actually did a ton of work to his team last time. I actually had Tailwind and I ran a Life Orb Pangoro last time, because the fact that if I had a Tailwind up, this thing was just sweeping through his team. Low Kick is designed to do much more damage. It actually OHKOs Kieran Black, and 2-hit KOs most Blastoise's sets, which is really cool, because he has a couple heavier mons on his team. The only thing that I think Low Kick does less versus is Clef, Galvantula, a Diggersby, and maybe Tornadus. That's about it. This thing also, it does a ton to Regirock and Bronzong too, so that's really nice. It's just very, this is a great Pokemon to have versus his team. Scarf outspeeds the Galvantula. I actually believe I outspeed everything. I'm pretty sure I outspeed the Tornadus too, so that's really cool. It's just a nice, maybe, sweeper to have at the end of the game. I also outspeed his Blastoise after Sticky Webs, so that's kind of cool. I also outspeed, I think, Emboar, maybe? No, maybe I don't outspeed Emboar, I'm not too sure about that. Anyway, I know I outspeed the Blastoise after Sticky Webs, which is nice, and I can usually 2-hit KO it or 3-hit KO it with the Low Kick, which is pretty cool. Knockoff is just nice versus the Galvantula. It's a 2-hit KO on it. Also, it's really nice for stuff like Bronzong, Gourgeist, and just getting rid of items in general. I actually OHKO the Diggersby with Drain Punch. I Oko. I don't think I Oko. No, I don't. Never mind. And then Gunk Shot is a 2-hit KO on the Clef, so that's the reason why we're running Gunk Shot. And I guess Poison's just decent coverage versus his team in general. His only Poison switch-in really is the Bronzong. Everything else takes neutral damage. So that's pretty cool. So that's the Pangoro set we're running. There's no need to run the Mold Breaker or Scrappy. Iron Fist will do. So that is the set we are bringing for our designer. Now here's a bit of a new set. I haven't really gotten a chance to run this set at all in the NPL. I think I brought it to one match and it didn't do too well. Excuse me. But we're bringing Zelda, our Meloetta, with the Silk Scarf and the Serene Grace ability. And we are running Close Combat, Return, Quick Attack, and Relic Song. If you guys don't know what Meloetta Pirouette is, it's just another Meloetta. It's like its other form. And what will happen is I'll have, instead of 128 special attack, I will change into a normal fighting type instead of a normal psychic type. And I will have 128 attack, 128 speed, and I believe 90 defense. So it's a little bit bulkier, and I'll lose my, I don't know about my HP actually, I'm not too sure. But yeah, this thing, it just changed into a hard hitting physical attacker that is super fast, which is fantastic. I outspeed his entire team with an adamant nature, which is cool because everything does not appreciate this adamant Silk Scarf return and quick attack. So even Relic Song is boosted with the Silk Scarf, so that's pretty cool. Close Combat is nice for the Kyurem, the Diggersby, and I think Regirock, and that's about it. Oh, Bronzong too. So yeah, but everything else just straight up drops from return. I really wanted to run Power Up Punch, but I thought Quick Attack would probably be a bit better and safer, honestly. The only concern about this set is it literally gets walled by Gourgeist. Any ghost type, I can't touch it, so I have to kill the Gourgeist if he brings it before I can do anything with this set. So, but yeah, this is a really nice Pokemon to bring because of the fact that it outspeeds everything and it 2-hit KOs almost everything, which is really cool. I don't think he will see it coming. I really hope this set shines because I haven't ran it too much. You guys usually see me wearing or using bulky Assault Vest or sub Calm Mind, stuff like that. So this is a little bit different, and hopefully it'll catch up off guard. So the next Pokemon we're bringing is John Cena, our Machamp. Machamp has been very useful these past couple matches, just because of the fact that its no guard dynamic punches are just something teams can't really handle too well. Even though they know it's coming, there's not too much they can do about it. Dynamic Punch, Knockoff, Bullet Punch, and Heavy Slam, nice priority. Excuse me. Heavy Slam, I'm actually outspeeding, or I have enough speed investment to outspeed his Clefable. Heavy Slam is always a 2-hit KO, and the Assault Vest allows me to sponge up those Moon Blasts pretty nicely. Also a great switch into Mega Blastoise because he doesn't know what set, well, if he doesn't know what set I am, he doesn't really want to be spamming Scald, and every other coverage move doesn't really do too much, like Ice Beam, Dark Pulse, stuff like that, even Dragon Pulse. They don't do anything to this set really, with my HP investment and the Assault Vest on top of that. This is also a generally nice answer to things like, I know I can live one hit from Diggersby as long as he's not banded. It's also decent for Galvantua, he can't really touch me with that, and I can just spam Knockoff or Dynamic Punch on it. Dynamic Punch actually Okos Kyurem Black if he wants to switch into it. Obviously Regirock doesn't appreciate it, and then Bronzong doesn't appreciate it either, neither does Drapion. Drapion can't really touch this set either. I guess Poison Jab will do about 30-40%, but that's if he's invested. So this is a really nice set to have. Bullet Punch is great priority versus pretty much his team, just because Machamp is so slow. So if I just need a little bit of chip damage, Bullet Punch will provide that knockout for me. So that is the Machamp set we have. So lastly, we have a bit of another interesting set. Like I said earlier, I don't have really anything for these hard-hitting physical attackers that he has on his team, so I kind of just made my own. So you guys are seeing a Never Melt Ice Thick Fat Mamoswine with Earthquake, Icicle Crash, Ice Shard, and Stealth Rock. Straight walled by Bronzong. I don't really have a choice with that though. 252 HP, 100 attack, and 156 defense with an Impish nature. You guys might be questioning that, but I will tell you why. A Choice Scarf Flare Blitz from Emboar isn't even a 2-hit KO. Well, that's if, I believe it's depending on rolls. I have it in my favor. I believe you'd have to hit max roll twice to be able to knock out this Mamoswine or burn me. But yeah, So I can live that. I can live a superpower from full. I can live. I can almost live, I believe, 2 returns from Scarf Diggersby too. And then I obviously 2-hit KO or OHKO with Ice Shard. I mean, not I 2-hit KO with Ice Shard. I OHKO with Ice Crash. Put it that way. Obviously Earthquake OHKO's the Embor. Icicle Crash 2-hit KO's Gourgeist. 2-hit KO's Tornadus Eye, I believe 2 Ice Shards knocks that out. So it's not really the investment. That I didn't really need too much attack investment to still do a lot of damage. I am base 130 attack. So it's just nice, I guess, somewhat defensive wall to bring. It's just there in case I need it to be able to eat that one hit and then knock something out. So I don't really have too many good things versus his physical attackers. So this is the set we are bringing, no speed investment. It is very, very risky to bring, but I think it'll pay off in the end. So it's just, I guess, a safety precaution, if you want to put it like that. It's just any big physical attacker on his team. I even live an Outrage from Kieran Black as long as he's not banded. I actually potentially might live one. I don't remember the calc. I know I eat Ice Beams up for days, even though I don't have any special defense investment, just because of the fact that I have max HP and thick fat. And yeah, so pretty much just nice to have versus his team. So we'll hop right into the battle versus Adam. So he brings the Bronzong, the Diggersby, the Galvantula, the Drapion, the Mega Blastoise, and the Kieran Black. So we pretty much exactly what I thought he was going to bring, except Clefable. I thought he'd bring Clefable for sure. I didn't really think Drapion would make the team, but he did bring the Drapion, in fact, probably trying to Pursuit Trap or knock off things on my team. Pretty much strictly the Latios. That would just be my guess. So anyway, we see his team, and as you guys can see my team. So looking at his team, I really think he's going to lead the Galvantula or the Bronzong. Excuse me, let me take it. Yeah, the Galvantula or the Bronzong. And with that, I was thinking, I can't lead my Thundurus because if I do, and he leads something like the Diggersby or the Kyurem, I'm really put in a bad situation, especially if he leads Diggersby. So I wanted to lead something that could obviously take a hit from one of his big physical attackers and not just get bodied at the same time. So I decided to lead with my Machamp as he leads with his Bronzong, which is actually a pretty decent matchup. So I just go for the Dynamic Punch because it'll obviously confuse him, and if he wants to set up rocks, he might get confused. He just goes for the Zen Headbutt, which is fine with me. No rocks are up, so I just go for the knockoff as he's Culver Berry. So yeah, I'm actually going to turn this to slow. So I go for the Dynamic Punch again, knock him out, and with this thing being gone, it opens up the door for Meloetta, for Mamoswine, and for Latios, so it's fantastic news for me. I can't let this thing set up a Sword Stance, so I have to go for a Dynamic Punch. Yeah, excuse me. As he just easily knocks me out with return. I kind of decided on this for a while. I really wanted to go out into my Mamoswine, but then again, I can't just let this thing. I can't let Mamoswine just take a hit for no reason. I am Scarf. I will outspeed him if he is not Scarf, and if he is Scarf, then I will be able to live the return no matter what. I know he's choiced. Well, at least I would think he's choiced because of the fact that we did not see an Life Orb recoil, which is pretty cool. So I'm just going to go for the Drain Punch here. It OHKOs him. If he wants to go Blastoise, it's still doing about 30%, so that's pretty nice. And if he wants to go Blastoise, I can switch into something like Latios or Thundurus. So stay in, click Drain Punch, and actually just OHKO his Diggersby, which is huge. That's one of his big physical attackers out of the way that I do not have to deal with anymore. As he's just going to go into the Galvantula and set up his Sticky Webs, as I'm going to go into my Mamoswine. Just hopefully, I can live 2 Giga Drains. I can't live 2 Energy Balls, but I don't think he would bring Energy Ball. Maybe he will. So I just go into this thing and I'm going to set up my rocks, as I don't think he's going to stay in trying to take a hit and breaking his potential Focus Sash. So he just goes into the Blastoise like he should. So I just go set up my Stealth Dark, which is what I need to do versus his Galvantula and his Kyurem. And I'm just going to switch out into my Latios because I could potentially get a Defog off if I need to. And he just goes straight for, I think he goes straight for the Dark Pulse, which is a very, very ballsy play, but it ended up working out for him. He actually does not kill me, so he leads me to believe he's a bit of a bulkier set, because usually offensive sets will knock this thing out. As he goes into this thing, and I just drop a Draco because he has no Dragon Resist at all with that with that Bronzong being dead. So I'm able to do 68% to an Assault Vest Drapion. That's definitely Assault Vest. I'm just going to knock it out with another Draco Meteor. And here he kind of, I guess he didn't make the right play in my opinion. I probably would have just went into the, well, I don't know. He doesn't really have too many options here. I outspeed his Galvantula, so I just drop another Draco, doing 61%, putting him in range of Stealth Rock. He'll die to the next Stealth Rock, put it that way. So as he just knocks out my Latios with Bug Buzz, he's really on the back foot here, even though he has webs up, because he has this thing. I have plenty of priority. I actually outspeed him with the Thundurus, so I go into this thing instead. Knock him out with the T-Bolt, because he has no real switch-ins. He doesn't want to take Rocks damage with Kyurem either. And if he switched out, he'd just die to Stealth Rock damage. So he just goes into the Kyurem here. I do, in fact, carry the T-Wave, so I'm just going to Thunder Wave this. Even though it could have been Lomberry, it's definitely the play to just click T-Wave and slow this thing down. As he clicks Draco Meteor and kills me with the crit, it leads me to believe he is Specs. I'm not really too sure. The crit probably didn't even matter anyway. Maybe he thought, or maybe he already knew that I would have been Lomberry, so goes for that. I just go into this thing and I click Low Kick. It would have killed him at full. So Low Kick obviously knocks it out from 76, and he just goes into the Blastoise here, and I can pretty much just whittle it down and then pick it off with one of my other Pokemon. So just go for the Low Kick here, doing about 39%, which is fantastic. It is a pretty bulky set, honestly. That Blastoise usually goes down to, well, I guess it isn't too bulky, but it has some HP investment. So do 41 with the next one, bring it down to 9%, and I can just go into my Meloetta and proceed to click the Quick Attack, because I don't think it would have been able to knock me out with the Dark Pulse either. This thing's naturally bulky, so just to be safe, I go for the Quick Attack, which knocks him out, even not in my Pirouette form, and we are the NPL Season 2 champions. So first year in the league, and we pick up the trophy, which is fantastic. I can't wait for Season 3. GG to Adam. That was a pretty intense game. It could have gone either way. I just, I guess, to me, if he would have brought out the Diggersby in different times and not risked it with my Pangoro being out, say he would have switched out into Blastoise or something, or even Drapion or something like that, then it just would have been a totally different game, because I could literally only eat about one hit from that thing and then proceed to knock it out with something else. So very, very good game. It took me a while to prep for that game, honestly, and rightfully so. He had a very, very good draft. Like I said, offensive MVP, Kyurem Black, and on top of that with Sticky Webs is just so hard to prep for. So it was an amazing season, honestly. I had a lot of fun in the NPL. I can't wait for Generation 7 mods to appear in the NPL. Drafting is going to be crazy. Now that I am the Season 2 champion, I actually get a bit of a buff for my draft. I will probably get one of the last picks because of the fact that I won. But I will get a little bit of extra points due to my draft. If you guys don't remember how the draft format works, I get, I believe, 400 total points, but instead I will have 420, so just a little bit of a buff. I don't think they're going to be doing franchising anymore, which is totally fine. I actually agree with that because of the fact that it's a new generation, so let everybody try whatever they want and let them draft whatever they want without any franchise snipes, I guess is one way to put it. So like I said, I had a ton of fun. This was a great season. I can't wait for Season 3. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, and I hope you guys enjoyed this battle, because I certainly did. So I will have a season recap up sometime soon within the week, and I will let you guys know my thoughts and concerns about how the season went fully in that video. So hope you guys enjoyed the battle, and I will see you soon. See you later.